The following is a Richey on Sports production.
Purple, black, and gold. LSU baseball postseason, Saints off season.
It's been a traditional hotspot destination in Metairie for years. From the home of the world-famous Swamp Burger, welcome to the Swamp Room at 5216 Veterans Memorial Boulevard. Hi everyone, I'm Victor Howell coming to you from the Swamp Room, and it's great to have you with us for this edition of Purple, Black, and Gold. Coming up in the program, the Saints wrap up OTAs, but they lose a starter to a knee injury, and the LSU Tigers hit more than their share of road bumps at the College World Series in Omaha. We'll get you caught up on the black and gold in just a moment, but let's lead off with the purple and gold. And to do that, we take you to Omaha, Nebraska, where Eric Richey anchors our coverage. Eric?
Since 1950, college baseball has crowned its champion here in Omaha, Nebraska. But for the past 3 years, it's been this new facility, TD Ameritrade Park, that has hosted the College World Series. Hi again, everyone. Eric Richey inside TD Ameritrade Park. That certainly was not a polite host to LSU in the Tigers' first visit to this new facility, especially in the opening game. Though the dimensions are the exact same as the beloved Rosenblatt Stadium, it still plays much bigger. Just ask Christian Ibarra, who hit a pair of blasts a combined 740 feet with nothing to show for it in Game 1. Mason Katz was the only player on any team to go yard in round 1, but that was LSU's lone run in the opener, losing to the Bruins 2-1.
I just hit it to the right part of the park, pulled it all the way down the line where, I knew if I hit it good, it might get out, but this park is big, and it's unfortunate that that's the way it plays. We've seen a couple balls in this tournament already. Ibarra's, if one of or two Ibarras I thought for sure was gone. Stevenson's had a chance. The guy from Oregon State's I thought for sure was 10 rows deep. It's a huge park, but everybody's playing with it. Yeah, maybe we have a few more power hitters than UCLA, but everybody has to adjust.
Now, let's get back to some good news for LSU. And on the eve of the College World Series, the Tigers got plenty. At their destination to achieve the ultimate team honor, a 7th College World Series title, LSU found out that 3 of its own are finalists for prestigious individual honors. Aaron Nola, one of 3 finalists for National Pitcher of the Year. Alex Bregman, one of 3 finalists for the Brooks Wallace Award for the best shortstop in the country, and Paul Maneri, fittingly one of 5 finalists for the inaugural Skip Bertman National Coach of the Year for all levels of college baseball.
Quite frankly, I was pretty honored when I heard that I was being considered for that one, because it's such a, it's named after Skip, who's one of my mentors and brought me here to LSU. And if in the end they decide that I was worthy of an award like that, I think it would be kind of a neat thing, the first one ever.
Coach Maneri is the best coach I've ever played for. He knows the game so well, knows who to put in the lineup, and we're a very good team, yes, but without him being our coach, we wouldn't have been able to do what we've done this year as well.
As for Bregman, he's already been named the National Freshman of the Year twice. He's 6 hits away from LSU's single-season record, and he could very well leave Omaha as the nation's leading hitter. How much does that mean to him right now?
That'd be awesome. It'd be a dream come true, but honestly, for the next 5 games, all I'm worried about is winning. And if we win the next 5 games, I'll be the happiest man in the world, even if I go 0-for. And I just want to help my team win this weekend and come away with a national championship.
I think that's a tremendous honor for those guys. I wouldn't be surprised to see him win it, to be quite frank with you. In fact, if Bregman doesn't get the Shortstop of the Year award, I think they ought to do an investigation, quite frankly.
And Nola, coming off a masterpiece 2-hit shutout in the Super Regional, a 12-0 record, a 1.68 ERA, and one of the best strikeouts to walk ratios in the country. Being a finalist for National Pitcher of the Year, that's on his radar.
It's definitely an honor, just to being a finalist for that award. It's amazing, and I'm just not going to think about that right now. I'm thinking about the team, Omaha right now, and just worrying about Sunday night's game.
I think Alex Bregman's the best shortstop in the country.
People can say that, yeah. I think he is. He's he's probably one of the hardest workers I've ever seen in my life. You know, he doesn't take any days off, and he's out there taking ground balls and hitting more than anybody I know. And you know, he deserves that shortstop spot.
Victor, we've got plenty more here from Omaha coming up, but for now, let's send it back to you at the Swamp Room in Metairie.
Eric, we will have more from Omaha, but unfortunately there will be no more baseball coming from Omaha in terms of the LSU Tigers, because Tuesday afternoon, everybody thought we'd see a matchup of LSU versus North Carolina, the #1 ranked team in the country, LSU, versus the #1 seeded team at the College World Series in North Carolina. Well, we did see that matchup in an elimination game, and Tuesday afternoon in that elimination game, it was North Carolina that got a 2-run homer in the first inning. They would tack on another run in the third. That's all they would need. The final score from Omaha, 4-2. So North Carolina eliminates LSU from the College World Series as the Tigers go 0-2 after winning 57 games this season. And a magical season it was, but it's an 0-2 run in Omaha for the Tigers as they lose to North Carolina. It's time for our first break, but when Purple, Black, and Gold continues from here at the Swamp Room and from Omaha, Nebraska, we head back to Omaha where we shine the eye of the tiger on a young man living out a dream with a return trip to the College World Series, but this time as a player. Here at the Swamp Room, it's not all about the Swamp Burgers. Steak night every Wednesday and Saturday. We're back after this. Purple, Black, and Gold is brought to you by Roussel Tire and Car Care Center. It's worth the trip to Laplace for service like this. By MyHealthInsuranceLady.com. A free quote is a click away. By the Swamp Room, the home of the Swamp Burger. By Spirits on Bourbon. Come try our resurrection, if you dare. By Riverside Academy, home of the Rebels, one of 7 Louisiana A+ schools. And by Aaron's, where you get flexible, affordable ownership plans on the top name brands in furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers.
At Roussel Tire and Car Care Center, we understand that tires are one of the most critical components for any vehicle. We have a wide selection of tires to fit your automotive needs with a complete line of Goodyear, Dunlop, and Kelly brands. Roussel Tire and Car Care Center is also a full-service automotive repair shop with an ASE certified master technician providing the best car care service in the area. When your car, truck, or SUV needs maintenance, bring it to us and get the job done right the first time. Our friendly staff looks forward to meeting you at Roussel Tire and Car Care Center, 421 Belterre Boulevard in Laplace. The Swamp Room on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie has everything you're looking for. The home of the Swamp Burger, juicy steaks, and a healthy portion of cheese fries. All part of a full-service grill that stays open late. Happy hour every day, 11 to 7, with a wide selection of 22 different beers on tap with hundreds of different bottles to choose from. Compete with your friends on pool tables, darts, golden tee, or try your luck on video poker. 17 flat-screen high-def TVs to watch LSU, the Saints, NFL ticket, and the MLB package at the Swamp Room, 5216 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie.
I got a secret.
That's right. We've got a secret, and we want to share it with you. Riverside Academy. Don't judge us by our front door. Why don't you come on in and see what the Rebel Pride is all about?
I made the switch. I came out of retirement.
We made the switch.
I made the switch.
I made the switch, and so should you. Call Riverside Academy today.
This portion of Purple, Black, and Gold is brought to you by Aaron's. Look to Aaron's for flexible, affordable ownership plans on the top brand names in furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers. And remember, you don't need credit. All you need is Aaron's. Visit Aaron's.com for details.
For baseball junkies like myself, this possibly is the best assignment on the planet. But as a dad, it always coincides with Father's Day. Now, I was lucky enough in 2009 to do a story on Mark Chapman. He's an umpire from Laplace who was working at the College World Series, but also brought his daughters from Louisiana to share in Father's Day. Well, this year, we caught up with another dad who was working on Father's Day, but was still surrounded by family. Not surprising that on Father's Day weekend, the Maneris found themselves at an Italian restaurant. Also equally as predictable, the mutual admiration from a father-son coaching combo who both know what it's like to win over 1,000 games.
Fortunately for me, the work that I do is a family affair. My father, Demi, is my mentor. He's the greatest junior college coach that ever lived. Not only is he a wonderful father, but once he knew what profession I wanted to go into, he became a mentor for me.
I know how much work Paul puts into getting here. He and his team have worked real hard, and but Paul has never lost sight of the reasons why he's in coaching.
In over 30 years, Demi Maneri coached guys like Steve Carlton, Mike Piazza, and yes, his son Paul.
Once I decided I wanted to be a coach, he was the one that really guided me through that. I lived in a learning laboratory, just being in the dugout my whole life, watching him do what he does and do it at such a high level that it meant everything.
When they play for Paul Maneri, they know they're playing for a guy with character and knows how to do it the right way, and I think he's been blessed.
When you think about your son and what he's done and accomplished in this game and followed in your footsteps, the over 1,000 wins, National Coach of the Year, winning the College World Series championship, what are you most proud of about your son, Paul Maneri?
Well, like I said, the most proud of, he hasn't forgotten where he came from. Doing something for charity has always been his thing, his niche. And he doesn't do it for the monetary gain that you get from those things, but from the emotional or psychological income you get from being able to help young people.
He's been the best man in my wedding. He's been my best friend my whole life, and always somebody that I can talk to whenever I need to.
To be very honest with you, and I'm not being, ridiculous on this, but he has done a much more remarkable job than I can do as a coach. It's in a tougher league than the league that I had to play in, and he's come out on top, not only with all the nice things he does for young people and for charities and things like that, which make my wife and I very happy.
Now, part of what makes this College World Series experience so special is the tradition. A wonderful piece this past week in the Baton Rouge Advocate on a young Rafe Rhymes, 13 years old, saying back then at Rosenblatt Stadium that he would one day return to Omaha and play for the LSU Tigers. Well, Rafe isn't the only member of the current LSU roster that came here to Omaha as a youngster, dreaming of one day returning for LSU. The Eye of the Tiger is brought to you by Roussel Tire and Car Care Center. For all your car care needs, stop by Roussel's on Belterre Boulevard in Laplace. Making it to Omaha, it's a dream for every college baseball player, especially for the guys that have been to Omaha before earlier in their lives. During their young days as little leaguers even, a couple of the LSU Tigers made the trip to Omaha and experienced the College World Series. Center fielder Chris Shambra is one such player. How old were you the first time that you came to Omaha? What was going through your mind, and what was that experience like when you first came to the College World Series?
I think I was about 8 or 7 whenever I first came, and that was in 2000 when LSU won the national championship. So that was a great memory for me and something I've looked forward to doing for myself since I got to experience that then as a kid.
What do you remember as a 7, 8-year-old being at Omaha, then at Rosenblatt Stadium, rooting for LSU, and hopefully one day, like you are, coming back to play for LSU?
I just remember the atmosphere and the fans. It was unbelievable, and the team just really playing hard and together, and that was something that we were looking to carry into this year, was that the way that we played together and to have this atmosphere and the crowd behind us.
What's that feeling like as a youngster, and then to finally realize that dream?
Yeah, when I came and watched it when I was a kid, just seeing all the players here, seeing LSU here and growing up watching them, I was like, I'm going to come back here to play in it, when I get older, and especially as an LSU Tiger. And then to get the dream come true to do that, it's hard to put into words.
Chamber's last big moment came in the SEC championship game against Vanderbilt when he came through with an extra inning game-winning RBI. When Game 1 of the College World Series came down to the final out, Chambra was on deck. What was he thinking?
Standing on deck, I was honestly thinking about that Vanderbilt game that we played in Hoover, because it was the same type of sidearm pitcher, and I was confident. I had a little bit of butterflies in my stomach, but I was just ready to get up there, and that's an exciting moment anytime you get to go onto the field in Omaha. So I was definitely looking forward to it, and I wish things would have turned out different.
So, Victor, that will wrap up our coverage from Omaha. Let's send it back to you and Metairie at the Swamp Room for a little bit of black and gold news.
Eric, we've got plenty of that, and it's not all good news. A shakeup at linebacker before training camp even kicks off. When we return, one linebacker's out. We'll tell you who's in when purple, black, and gold rolls on from here at the Swamp Room, where it's happy hour every day, 11 to 7, with 22 beers on tap to choose from. We're back at the Swamp Room after this.
Aaron's is giving away stuff for free? People are gonna freak out.
During Aaron's June free-for-all, you'll find items in every department free.
Yes, ma'am. Get any new Maytag top-load washer dryer and get 6 months of Tide detergent free. She fainted.
And at Aaron's, you're pre-approved for up to $2,000 in merchandise without needing credit.
Yes, sir. This is free with this. Pinch you because you're dreaming? I'm not really comfortable with that.
Get started today at aarons.com/free.
Aaron's free-for-all. Wait a minute. Am I dreaming? Ow.
In the heart of the French Quarter, the recently renovated Spirits on Bourbon, as seen on Spike TV, is your must-see destination on Bourbon Street, with nightly entertainment featuring our dueling piano show. Sing along and have a great time. Spirits on Bourbon, with our world-famous signature drink, the Resurrection, served in our souvenir blinking skull mug with tons of booze and a jalapeno for extra kick. Or try the Barber Beer. It's not a beer, it's a delicious mixed drink with whipped cream vodka, root beer schnapps, cream soda, and topped with whipped cream. Or if you dare, pay homage to our resident ghost, Edward Dubois, and have a shot in his barber chair. Come hungry. Our great food is served 24 hours a day, Thursday through Monday. Steaks, shrimp beignets, shrimp po' boys, and the best gumbo in the French Quarter. And for souvenirs, visit our website at spiritsonbourbon.com. Spirits on Bourbon, 615 Bourbon Street.
At myhealthinsurancelady.com, we offer online quotes for Blue Cross, Humana, and Coventry, just to name a few.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
We offer you expert advice on choosing a plan that's right for you and your family.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
So go to myhealthinsurancelady.com for your health insurance needs.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
myhealthinsurancelady.com.
This portion of Purple, Black, and Gold is sponsored by Riverside Academy, home of the Rebels, and one of 7 Louisiana A+ schools where academics, arts, and athletics are important.
Welcome back to the Purple, Black, and Gold, here from the Swamp Room on Veterans in Metairie. I'm Victor Howell. Great to have you with us. And it's time to turn our attention to the Black and Gold and talk some about the New Orleans Saints. And you know, during OTAs and minicamp, you'd be hard-pressed to find a player who was more excited about being a member of the Saints team and in the city of New Orleans than Victor Butler. The free agent from Dallas, finally out of the shadows of players like DeMarcus Ware and Anthony Spencer, and he was ready to become a starter himself, or at least so he thought. During the final week of OTAs, Butler knocked knees with Mark Ingram, is how Sean Payton described it, but within 24 hours, reports circulated that Butler suffered a torn ACL and his season very much in doubt. In the Rob Ryan 3-4 defense, Butler was primed to be the jack linebacker. That's the linebacker applying pressure on the quarterback. As of now, that role seems to be set for Martez Wilson. Just before the injury to Butler, Eric Richey went one-on-one with a player whose playing time should be on the rise.
You guys wrap up OTAs. What's the sense you got coming out of minicamp OTAs and really your first chance to play under this Rob Ryan defense?
Got a sense more just for the defense as a whole. Got a feel for some of the technique things we need to do in certain defenses called, as well as knowing the exact guys to cover, you know, in coverage. And I think that was the biggest part. Besides just running, just going through the defense, I think that was the main part of OTAs, just learning assignments and things like that.
I know versatility is such a key asset in his defense and moving guys from outside linebacker, defensive end. What's that been like for you to kind of play a couple different positions?
It's been a fun journey so far. So, like, I feel like my first 2 years playing linebacker and defensive end helped in this defense because outside linebacker is a combination of both. So, like, I'm able to put all my skills together this year and be effective.
What's it like to have Coach Payton back? What's been the difference in this football team?
Just the intensity overall. I mean, you feel the team camaraderie has risen, and, like, everybody's just ready to work and just go out and win games.
It wasn't long before Jamon Bushrod signed with the Bears that the Saints signed Jason Smith, who was originally drafted by St. Louis with the number 2 pick overall coming out of Baylor. he never did solidify a spot with the Rams or the Jets, who he played for last season. The Saints drafted a left tackle in the 3rd round when they selected Teron Armstead out of Arkansas Pine Bluff. At 6'5", 306, Armstead ran with the ones for part of the OTAs. But by the time OTAs ended, it was Charles Brown running with the ones. No question, Brown feels the starting left tackle position is his to lose.
I'm not anxious at all, man. It's going to come. It's going to come.
You look at it as your job to lose?
It is my job to lose.
I've been, starting for 4 years. It's kind of hard not to want to be on the field, but I have to take care of the smaller stuff first. I got all the confidence in myself, but like those guys in the past, they put the work in, and I'm just trying to put that same work in.
Time for another break. More from the Saints offseason when the purple, black, and gold returns as we check in with tight end Jimmy Graham. We're at the Swamp Room, 5216 Vets in Metairie. With 17 flat-screen HD TVs, there's not a bad seat in the house. We're back after this.
At Roussel Tire and Car Care Center, we understand that tires are one of the most critical components for any vehicle. We have a wide selection of tires to fit your automotive needs with a complete line of Goodyear, Dunlop, and Kelly brands. Roussel Tire and Car Care Center is also a full-service automotive repair shop with an ASE certified master technician providing the best car care service in the area. When your car, truck, or SUV needs maintenance, bring it to us and get the job done right the first time. Our friendly staff looks forward to meeting you at Roussel Tire and Car Care Center, 421 Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. The Swamp Room on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie has everything you're looking for. The home of the Swamp Burger, juicy steaks, and a healthy portion of cheese fries. All part of a full-service grill that stays open late. Happy hour every day, 11 to 7, with a wide selection of 22 different beers on tap with hundreds of different bottles to choose from. Compete with your friends on pool tables, darts, golden tee, or try your luck on video poker. 17 flat-screen high-def TVs to watch LSU, the Saints, NFL ticket, and the MLB package at the Swamp Room, 5216 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie.
It's ongoing, and certainly for me, I've been able to put the names with faces, and then also the video and what they're doing, and again, it's still early in the process, but that's kind of taken place really the last couple months.
Saints head coach Sean Payton brings us back from break, and yes, Payton will have to get to know almost half a roster that was not with the team just before to Payton's suspension. But that won't be a problem when it comes to getting to know his tight end, Jimmy Graham. Even though his peers may have left him off the list of top 100 players in the league, no one around here needs to be reminded of just how important Jimmy Graham is. But if you need a reminder, no problem. Here's Paul Boron with more.
I feel good.
Whether it's James Brown or Jimmy Graham, those words are music to Who Dat's ears. After a year when Graham battled an ankle injury and then a wrist injury that eventually needed off-season surgery, the Saints tight end is finally feeling healthy.
Everything's going well. It's I've been in rehab and been getting stronger, and right now I'm almost 100%. So going into camp, I'll be 100%, and it just feels good. It feels good to be healthy finally, and back playing like me.
Last year, Graham had 85 catches, nearly 1,000 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And he says that was a disappointment, partially because of the missed opportunities, but mainly because the Saints missed the playoffs. Either way, it's made him a very hungry tight end.
I'm a hungry player. This is probably the hungriest I've ever been. To kind of right the wrongs of last year, and to prove what this team can do, and to maybe hush up some of the naysayers. So for me, it's it's all work, and doing as much as I can to be the best player I can.
Last season, Jimmy Graham had a Pro Bowl type year, but he did have 13 drops. This January, he declined the trip to Hawaii to have surgery on his wrist. That wrist bothered the big tight end all year, but he won't use that as a reason for his drop in production from his record-breaking 2011 season.
I don't use excuses, and I can't blame it on that. We have, I think everyone in this room, wish they could, have plays over and wish they could have changed, the outcome of last year. But that is the past, and that year's over, and now I'm healthy, and
just kind of looking for the future.
I think certainly getting him back after his off season and surgery, and I know that he's anxious to get started on this year. We had a handful of guys that played through some injuries. We had a handful of drops. Certainly, I think his expectation level is high, just as ours is as well. And I look forward to watching this upcoming season.
Graham says every player on the roster took a long look in the mirror this offseason, and what he saw was a healthy tight end who is ready to get better. And if a 1,000-yard season was a down year, look out in 2013. In Metairie, Paul Bourne for Purple, Black, and Gold.
We're down to our final timeout. Back to wrap up the Purple, Black, and Gold from the Swamp Room right after this.
At myhealthinsurancelady.com, we offer online quotes for Blue Cross, Humana, and Coventry, just to name a few.
That's my health insurance lady.
We offer you expert advice on choosing a plan that's right for you and your family.
That's my health insurance lady.
So go to myhealthinsurancelady.com for your health insurance needs.
That's my health insurance lady.
myhealthinsurancelady.com. The Swamp Room on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie has everything you're looking for. The home of the Swamp Burger, juicy steaks, and a healthy portion of cheese fries. All part of a full-service grill that stays open late. Happy hour every day, 11 to 7, with a wide selection of 22 different beers on tap with hundreds of different bottles to choose from. Compete with your friends on pool tables, darts, golden tee, or try your luck on video poker. 17 flat screen high-def TVs to watch LSU, the Saints, NFL ticket, and the MLB package at the Swamp Room, 5216 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie. At Roussel Tire and Car Care Center, we understand that tires are one of the most critical components for any vehicle. We have a wide selection of tires to fit your automotive needs with a complete line of Goodyear, Dunlop, and Kelly brands. Roussel Tire and Car Care Center is also a full-service automotive repair shop with an ASE certified master technician providing the best car care service in the area. When your car, truck, or SUV needs maintenance, bring it to us and get the job done right the first time. Our friendly staff looks forward to meeting you at Roussel Tire and Car Care Center, 421 Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace.
Purple, Black, and Gold has been brought to you by Roussel Tire and Car Care Center. It's worth the trip to LaPlace for service like this. By myhealthinsurancelady.com. A free quote is a click away. By the Swamp Room, the home of the Swamp Burger. By Spirits on Bourbon. Come try our resurrection, if you dare. By Riverside Academy, home of the Rebels, one of 7 Louisiana A+ schools. And by Aaron's, where you get flexible, affordable ownership plans on the top name brands in furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers. Welcome back to the Swamp Room here in Metairie as we get set to wrap things up. Certainly we will keep our eyes on the Saints as we get closer and closer to the start of training camp in the 2013 season. But the next big sporting event for LSU in terms of the purple and gold, unfortunately, that will come in Arlington at the end of August when the Tigers kick off the football season against TCU. And that's because the Tiger baseball team eliminated in Omaha on Tuesday by the score of 4-2. The number 1 ranked team in the country, LSU, losing to the number 1 seeded team in Omaha, North Carolina. The Tigers win 57 games on the season, an outstanding season that saw an SEC West title, an SEC tournament title, a regional and a sub-regional. But for the Tigers, it's all about getting to Omaha and pursuing another national championship. And unfortunately, this year, the Tigers go 0-2. That will do it from now. For Eric Richey in Omaha, I'm Victor Howell. From the Swamp Room in Metairie, we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on the Purple, Black, and Gold.